Hey there everyone, Nick here from GFXHowTo, and in today's video you're going to be learning how to make this space background here. So to start off, we're going to go to File, New, and you can set the dimensions here to whatever you want. I'm going to use mine as wallpaper, and my resolution is 1920 by 1080, so I'm going to start with that. I'm going to fill my background here with black. I'm going to create a new layer now by going down to the panel here and clicking this icon. I'm going to fill that layer with black once more, and we're going to add some stars in here. So we're going to go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise, set the amount here to 10%, and make the distribution Gaussian, and make sure you have this monochromatic box checked, otherwise you're going to get that TV screen ugly RGB noise looking thing going on. So check that box, go ahead and click OK, and then we're left with this. Doesn't look so hot, so we're going to add a levels layer to even this out. So we're going to set the black balance here to about 65, and then we're going to set the white balance here to roughly 100. You can play with this a little bit if you want with the sliders to get as many stars as you want. And then we're going to go ahead and create a clipping mask to apply that to just this layer beneath it, so nothing else will be affected by the levels layer. And I did that by pressing Control-Alt-G, or Command-Alt-G, I suppose, on a Mac. Great, so now we're going to make another new layer and fill it with black again. This time we're going to add a lens flare. So you're going to go down to Filter, Render, Lens flare, and go ahead and copy these settings here. We're going to be using the 105mm prime with a brightness of 100. Great. Go ahead and click OK. Then on this we're going to change our blending mode here to screen and our opacity to about 50%. So we're setting the blend option there to screen just so you can see all the stars behind it. As you can see, it's completely black here, but changing this allows you to see everything behind it, and we're going to lower it to about 50% just to ease off on the light effect in the middle there. Great, so we're going to add another new layer here and fill it with black again, and then go to Filter, Render, Clouds. Now when you do this, make sure your colors here are set to black and white, otherwise you're going to get some funny looking clouds. Alright, there we go. And now you can just press Control F to cycle through until you kind of find one that you like. I try to look for one with maybe a few more dark spots. Something like that will do. Then we're going to go ahead and change the layer setting on this to Overlay. As you can see, we get a nice cool effect there, and then we want to change the color of this to really get the nebula effect. So I'm going to head into my blending options, and I have a style pre-made here for this tutorial. I called it Space Gradient there, but basically you're going to go to your style options here, click Gradient Overlay, and then change the blend mode from, it'll look something like this. Going to change it from normal to overlay, and then you're going to want to create a gradient that's going to work for you. So as you can tell, this looks good with quite a few different gradients. You just kind of got to play around and find one that works for you. Something like that might look pretty good. I'm going to leave a link to this layer style in the description, but if you're wondering how to use these sliders, you can just double click to change the color and click anywhere along the bar when this pointer comes up to add a new point. So you want to make that like a lighter red, and then add another point and make that purple. You wanted it to change a little quicker, and then come along here and get to like a darker purple, and then maybe go back to like a light color, but you get the point there, right? So I'm going to leave that on my layer style there. Make sure it's a linear gradient, and you can play with the angle here to whatever you want. You know, something like that looks good, so just going to go ahead and leave that there. The scale as well is something you can just adjust. As you can see on a low scale, you can really tell the lines where the gradient changes. And on a higher scale, you cannot. It spans the whole image. So just find a nice spot where it works for you. So I'm going to leave mine about that. Go ahead and click OK. So as you can see, we have most of the image done here now. Everything's looking pretty good. We zoom in 100%. Looks pretty awesome. From here, we're going to take a colored brush on a new layer. So create a new layer, grab a brush, and maybe grab a color you want to work with. I think some purple would look good in this image. We're going to change this image to, we're going to change this mode to color. Bring this down to about 25 or so %. And you can adjust your brush size here. You can either do it up in the panel by dragging this slider, or press Control and Alt on your keyboard and right-clicking and then dragging in the direction. So left to make the brush smaller, right to make the brush bigger. And find a size that you kind of want to work with there. And then you can brush in a little bit of purple there, or whatever color you want to work with, to make that work for you. You can play with this a little bit too if you want. Like linear dodge looks pretty good. I'm going to leave mine on color for now though. And then we're going to make a new layer again. Change our brush back to black. Bump it up a little bit, hit Control minus to back out here. And then I'm going to brush along the edges here just to create a little more depth in the star field here. Perfect, there we are. Alright, and now we're going to add a curves adjustment layer just to play with the colors here. So as you can see, you can do a lot with the curves adjustment layer, make everything brighter, darker. I'm going to go ahead and go and adjust the green value here just down just a little bit, just to get those nice purple and blue colors really popping out here. Go with something like that. Oh, I notice the edges are looking a little high contrasted after we've done that. So I'm going to go ahead and change this blending mode to overlay, maybe back to normal actually, and then just lower the opacity a little bit there to get something like that. Now, if you ever want to change the colors of this, you could create a new hue saturation layer and then just pull the slider along, but you get some pretty funky looking colors by doing that. It's not very accurate, but that doesn't look too bad. What I suggest doing is either changing the gradient here to, you know, some colors that you want, or using this color layer here. You can do as many as you want. So color, 15% opacity, and then just adding in more color where you want it. If you want some yellow in there, you can do that too. Perfect. I'm going to leave mine like that, and there you are. You pretty much have it. Nice space background there. So to export this image, you are going to want to go to File, Save As, and then you're going to pop this down to either PNG or I like JPEG. So I'm going to save mine JPEGs, put your file name here, space, and then go ahead and hit save. You'll get prompted with this option. You can change the quality to wherever you like using this slider. I'm going to leave it at 12 and go ahead and click OK, and then you have your image there. Great. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and take care.